All right, welcome back to another episode of Athlete POV. We're sitting here with Nazir Stackhouse, D lineman, Georgia. Excited to have him on. Can't wait to get some insight from him about Georgia, about himself. What's going on, man?
First off, it's a pleasure having me on here. Second off, I'm really excited. It's like I think it's like my second podcast. If I'm not mistaken, I kind of did one my freshman year.
Mm.
But just won a national championship not too long ago. Feeling real good, man. And then this year is a really big year for me. I'm filling in some really big shoes. The ones who do know, Jordan Davis, Devontae White, Trayvon Walker are in the NFL Combine right now. So those are the guys that I played behind, of course, looked up to because they were vets in the game and stuff like that. And this very upcoming season is going to be exciting for me to get a little bit more snaps on the field. So we may see a little more playing time, a little more big sleepy celebrations. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. And now we see your guys in the combine. Like, obviously, that's a goal to shoot for. But a little backtrack. This past year, national championship, like first in like the last 41 years. What was it like for Georgia? What was it like on the field right after the game and like the atmosphere in the locker room with all your boys?
It was surreal, man. Like all I could think of was just to embrace the moment. Cause like I didn't really play in the game at all, but I wasn't really too worried about it. I'm like, bro, we just won a national championship. Like I'm proud of my boys just going out there and executing. Of course, I supported them on the sideline and really all throughout the season. And then for them to go out there and win it for Athens, man, win it for Georgia, it was like, bro, and especially for the seniors that all decided to go into the draft and furthermore their career and stuff like that. I was like, bro, like what a season. You know what I mean? Like what a career ending time. Like it's like wow, like and it was just like all I could just do was embrace it. Like it was exciting. Of course I went around and the screen like, oh, we know the champions, celebrated with my boys, this and that. It's just like the celebration never really ends, to be honest. Like because you're walking around campus and then that thought just comes to your mind like, I'm the national champion. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. And that brings up something very like that relates. We had one of our team members. She goes to the University of Georgia. Her name is Eve, and she was saying how she would walk around campus and it would be nonstop, go dogs. So like wherever someone would go. So I'm sure in Athens and really all over Georgia, the atmosphere just must be crazy because I know how dedicated the fans of Georgia are.
And it's embracing because you couldn't really get too overwhelmed about it. It's like wow, like you might as well accept it at that point. Like you're national champion, you can't get mad about it.
Absolutely. And then like being from Georgia yourself, was it like always like a goal of yours to one day be a Bulldog?
Yes. Like the day I committed, or the night I committed, was when we played Auburn in the SEC championship.
Right.
Everyone who knows football earlier in that season we lost to Auburn, and we came back to beat them in the SEC championship, and me being really young, not really knowing too much about recruiting, I just thought that it'd be a great decision of mine. It's like, you know what, I might as well play at home. You know what I mean? Like I grew up here as a kid. Didn't really watch too much college football. I was more of an NFL guy. I like to watch a lot of NFL. And then, as I got the opportunity to, go on my recruiting visits, get to know each and every coaches and stuff like that from different systems and stuff like that, I was able to, map out, okay, Alabama's a great school, Auburn is a great school, Tennessee's a great school. These are all great schools, but like deep down inside, like I want to stay home. And so I was like, and fortunately for me, I was like, the dogs were really good at that time. So I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go home. You know what I mean? Like, and some people may say you got to go outside your comfort zone and stuff like that. I was like, well, of course it's not always true. It's not always wrong. But I was like, I'll just go to Georgia and then we would just build something from there. And then me knowing that Kirby was a new head coach there at the time, he was only there for 2 or 3 years at the time. I was like, I want to be a part of a program that's being built from the bottom up because we all know before Kirby, Georgia wasn't really on the map like that. And I wanted to be a part of that. So.
Right, and saw in another interview that I think that you did last year, like your freshman year, like you said, you were like you're all about loyalty. You committed your sophomore year of high school, so obviously you've upholded that. And then you also mentioned in there how you tried to influence like other people to come to Georgia and see how they would try to like join you or like you can't control what they think.
Yeah,
How does that work? And what does your like loyalty to Georgia mean to you?
I'm like it means a lot. Like and as a as a recruit in high school, of course, we all got those thoughts in our head. Like, man, I really want to go here, but I really want to go here too, man. So, but like me deep down inside, I just said it final. Like, I enjoyed my time going to these colleges and learning. Well, not learning, but like seeing different places and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. And then you, you're going to do that as a recruit. It's just the nature of it. You know what I mean? But deep down inside, you know where you want to go. Like, not everyone else knows, but you. Sometimes the parents may know. Sometimes you won't tell your parents. And so the Georgia, I don't really think too much. And I started training or anything like that. I was like, in my class, I want to commit to Georgia. And at the time, I was coming out of my sophomore season into my junior year. And, once they got me commit, everyone was like, oh, this and that, oh my God, this and that, blah, blah. I didn't know how that was going to come, man, honestly. I didn't know all the controversy and the
Oh
media. I
man.
didn't know because I didn't know anything about recruiting. I was like, okay, I'm going to Georgia, blah, blah. I'm going to go here and that's that. And one of my teammates from high school, he was a senior. He was like, bro, you need to get your Twitter account, blah blah. We need to change your
Oh
IG.
wow.
So I was like, I need a Twitter. He's like, bro, you need a Twitter. And as soon as I made Twitter, I
Damn.
was like, I was left and right. I'm like, I don't know how to. It was so overwhelming, but like I feel like I was a good example on commit to the G because obviously it's explanatory. Like commit to the G. If you go commit here, you go come here. You ain't gonna commit here and then decommit. And I'm not
Right,
going that
right.
like that decommitted or stuff like that. Sometimes it's something that they don't really want. You know what I mean? So you got some players like Jada Hazelwood. I played football with Jada Hazelwood in middle school, and then I transferred my ninth grade year. And we all thought Jada was gonna come here. We were like, oh, Jada really good about him. Played with George Pickens. I think Nico was here at the time and stuff
Right.
like that. And so we had really good offensive core, this and that. He didn't come here. He flipped to Oklahoma. And I didn't think that was a bad decision. I'm like, if he feels though Oklahoma fits him best,
Right.
or
Everyone's different, you know.
why? Yeah. So why not go there? And then we had some other players flip. We were supposed to get Will Anderson, and we were supposed to get him, but I don't know. Like,
That would have been something.
it would have been great, but like players decommitting from college and stuff like that. I never really found anything wrong with that. Sometimes like it always comes down to that point where man, like I don't really feel this school too much, blah blah blah. Cause I'm really digging this school,
Right.
so I'm gonna just go here. And then sometimes it's a family issue.
Yeah,
You know,
you definitely can't criticize someone for doing what's best for themselves, you know,
yeah,
because ultimately that's really what matters.
exactly.
But now being a 4-star recruit right out of high school and you visited top tier programs, was there ever
Yeah.
like some sort of crazy story or like any sort of story that like really stuck with you? Not maybe not at Georgia or like something that really just stood out in your whole process,
Like crazy story, as in like someone else telling me a story,
or like I mean, I don't want to get you in trouble, but did anyone like ever tell you something like a promise or like some I don't know like a
oh,
bribe
of
or something?
course, that's the of course that's just what recruiting is like, and I'm pretty sure this isn't a secret. Like everyone knows it. Like the coach's job, the recruiter's jobs, or the coaches, their job is just trying to get the players to come. Of course, they're great athletes. We need you to come in our system. Why? Because why I say that is not it's not a secret anymore because I'm a player at the University of Georgia, and whenever we're looking at a certain player, so like that, we'll be like, oh yeah, we want him close. We got you. We'll go talk to him, try to get him to come here, blah blah blah. And
Right.
it's kind of like we almost doing them a favor. They won't even ask. But you'd be like, you know what, we got you. We're gonna try to come and get him and stuff like that. And so me being a recruit, they were always coaches be like, yeah, man, you know what I mean, this and that. I can't really say too much, but you know what I mean, this and that. I ain't gonna say no names, but they'll be like, yeah, man, if you need some this, we got you, this and that. It's like, wow, man, you got me, man. Thank you, man. I really, you know what I
So
mean?
like player recruitment is also like being a current player, like recruiting
Yeah,
future commits is like a thing. That's what I'm
yeah,
trying to get
it's
at.
a game.
Yeah.
It's definitely a game. And so it's like, we, they come here and stuff like that. I remember one time I was having a talk with, I forget who. I was having a talk with him. I was like, hey, bro, like, you're a real good player, this and that. I honestly think, me personally, that you'll be able to fit. This is quoted by me. And I was like, I honestly think you'll be a really good fit, on the team, stuff like that. They really like you, this and that, blah,
Hmm.
blah. But, and then just me hanging around him, him being young, just a year younger than me. And I was like, bro, you real cool. I mess with you a lot, blah, 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 this and that. We should stay connected, this and that. He didn't end up coming here. I think he ended up going to Texas A&M or something like that. And I was like, hey, bro, blah, blah. We're regardless of the decision. Your boy about Blake hit me up anytime. He didn't end up coming here with the him, but he'll always look back at, oh, I remember when he tried to get me
Right,
to come here.
and it's just more about connections too. I feel
Yeah, it's about connection. Yeah,
once you build something with somebody, then it could lead to other people, and then you're just known for that person who's a nice guy.
Yeah, and it's like they already know that we're trying to convince them.
Right.
So why not at least get to know them? You know what I mean? Like sometimes you may build a strong connection with someone, and they may just come here because you're here. You know what I mean? So it's never.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the whole point there. But now, going back to some of your teammates, right, that are now in the combine, about to get drafted. Probably some of the first Georgia D linemen since 2013 to go into the draft and go through the process of getting drafted, right?
Yeah.
But now, next year for you, what does the Georgia D line look like, and what are some of your goals for next year?
We still gonna be a strong D line. The only thing with us that's different is just the age difference. It's like Georgia is known for having a lot of vets on the team, so that players that have been there, been in those situations, players that really been in the program since it was like being good and stuff like that.
Right.
And we all know JD came in 2-star blah blah. His development showed, right? We know Junior Rochester. These players been here a while. Devontae Wild, he's from where I'm from.
Right.
Trayvon Walker, they've been here. So we coming in as young defensive linemen. Me, Jen Carter, Warren Brinson, us coming in, we will look at how they play. We'll look up to what they do. We'll learn from their mistakes and stuff like that. We'll learn from what they do. And so now the burden is on us because had they left, now we
It's your
have
turn.
a great opportunity to come and not change the system, but more like
Continue.
Continue it and hold that burden because JD
continue the standard of being,
and continue the standard. So now it's time for us to live up to the fact. Of course, we played our freshman year and our sophomore year, right? But in order for us to really feel a greater impact on the team, especially this year, we have to go out there and show it, and we learned it from this year.
Right, and that sort of reminds me of the high school I went to because you had your seniors, or any high school. You have your seniors, the captains, the leaders that have been there for 4 years, and then it's just next guy up, and the new.
That was our motto back last year. That was our motto, next guy up, and it's kind of a community effect. So it was them, now it's us, and then we have young people we got Barry Alexander, we have Sean.
And now it'd be your job to prepare them.
Exactly. So they're looking. As we looked up to them, they're looking up to us. Why? Because we know the system. They just got here. So now it's time for us to teach them how. This is how this is supposed to be. This is how you do this, right? And they'll learn from our mistakes, right? And we'll tell them, look, this is what we used to do, blah blah. I'm gonna try to keep you from making the same mistake I did. And then it's nothing like we have a lot of talented lines on the team. We really have a lot of talented players. We just have to get their mental right. Look, you're a great player on the team. You're a part of the team, and you're a key part of the team. Not just any other player, but you're a key part. We need you to be, on track. We need you to be focused. But this next season is going to be it's going to be fun. It's not going to be funny, but it's going to be interesting.
I got you, yeah. Because the standard is set now at getting to the playoff, getting to the championship, winning. Exactly. What else is there to do? You got to continue it now. That's probably
you got to stick to the standard. Stay to the standard. That's all it is.
Right. All right. Let's do a complete 180 here. You're pretty active on social media. Specifically, our team dug up some TikToks. I mean, pretty active. No, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you got a bunch of followers. What's your content video history there, and how does that is that something you want to do? Is it a passion of yours? How does that fall in?
I can say it's very much a passion, but I can't say very much a passion, and I'll be lying to you if I said it wasn't. You know what I mean? And it kind of started off okay. Make a little video, blah blah. Because at first I didn't know what TikTok was. Had I known about TikTok in high school, I'm pretty sure I did. Just never really put too much effort in it. Had I known about it in high school, I probably had around 100K probably. Why? Because I have more time on my hands. And so TikTok started off. I'm playing in the USA game.
Right.
At Dallas. I'm playing in that, and the guy was like, "Oh, just making TikTok, blah blah." Okay, bet. And I got on TikTok, and so I was just scrolling. Like, oh my god, this TikTok's funny, blah blah. I want to make a TikTok. So just being a joke, I was like, you know what? I'm making it count. Made it count. I made probably 20 videos in that one whole month. Made 20 videos. One of them actually hit 14K. It was a little
there you go.
Video, right? And so I was like, oh my God, this is cool. You know what I mean? It was just a joke. Something to entertain myself. I'm easily entertained, especially when it's just me. I'm easily entertained. So sometimes I'll go back and watch my old videos and I laugh when I'm like, that was actually funny. That was actually funny, blah, blah, blah. So I noticed, I'm like, bro, like, I'm getting followers. Like, you actually follow my TikTok. And so as I noticed that, I'm like, so I like make this a thing, like a little side hobby. And so I kind of carried it here into college and stuff like that. And it slowly made its way. I'm not gonna say it tremendously, just my followers tremendously, my views just tremendously blasted up, but it slowly did. And I started to analyze, all right, what are people watching these days? You know what I mean? Especially the ones that watch football or just
Right.
athletic period. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to give too much of voiceovers. You know, the ones that they be doing the day in the life, this and that.
Yes, yes.
I want to give the humorous, the comedy side of it because people say I'm funny. I don't think I'm funny, but they think
Man, I watched some of them. Just to bring one up, the most like recent one I think it was, where you were trying to like, well, not you were trying. You said you were like, you get like misrecognized for Jordan.
Yes, that's actually a thing. No, that's literally actually it happened to me.
I was laughing. I was laughing. That was pretty. That was a good one.
I was at the library. This is a true story. I was at the library with some friends. No, as a matter of fact, I wasn't at the library. I was walking from academics to my dorm room, and this is probably like around 9, 8 o'clock. It's dark, right? And so I'm walking, and so these girls ride past me as I was walking. They kind of stopped. It was like, oh my God, are you Jordan Davis? I was like, no. I was like, no, but and so they pulled off, and so I was like, damn, I should sell Jordan Davis. They may have one to take a picture with. You never know, right? And so back to TikTok, as this story started coming up, my teammates was like, oh man, that's what kid is, this and that. And I was like, okay, I like it. You know what I mean? And as I started making more videos involving UGA and something involving some of my teammates, I'm not sure if you noticed, some of I made a TikTok where they had like the pause frame one where like when you pose as your teammates.
Right. Yeah, with the box you fit in it.
Yeah. As I put some of them in the TikTok and stuff like that, they started like, oh bro, that's dope, man. I like this and that. They started to motivate me more to do it. And so as they fed into more of the media side, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use this as a side hobby, not too much of a passion, but a side hobby. Why I like.
I got you. Yeah.
Maybe I could use this to build a network. You know what I mean? Because like maybe I could use this to probably get NIL deals and this and that. I just want to open the doors to any opportunity.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm still having fun. And I'm still, gaining followers. And at the same time, I interact with my followers. So you comment, I'm going to come back and see it. Now, if it's something that's negative, I may not comment on it. I may not comment on it. And if I do comment on it, it may be something smart, like something that's funny, blah, blah, blah. But I'm always interacting with at least some of my followers, so like that. And then, I try to keep it family friendly.
Right.
Some people like, oh, I wish Jordan Davis had a TikTok. And I was like, how do y'all know Jordan Davis that his TikToks are not just his TikTok would be his humor. Like, only people that know him know how he is. His humor is funny.
I got you.
People understand his humor. So that's just the networking and the media side and stuff like that. Something I do in the love. I may come with an idea. Like, you know what?
Yeah. No, it's definitely really cool. And I mean, like you mentioned with NIL, athletes nowadays really have, I guess you can say, leverage when it comes to like brand deals because everyone's fighting for attention, and people with attention, right. Athletes, college athletes of big programs like Georgia, could really probably play a role in that sort of aspect. But now, and I want to mention this now. At Georgia, right, the facilities got to be like some top notch, and the food top notch, definitely from a big program like there. But tell me about Panda Express and how is that?
Okay, there's a good and a bad side of Panda Express. Like Panda Express, I feel like depending on where the Panda Express is, because we're not catered by them. That's just something that we. So like I'll go to the common area, give up some Panda Express. Panda Express is not bad, but it's not top notch either. Honestly, you ask me, like literally, I like the old tradition Asian food. I like to go to like the spot where we get chopsticks. Panda Express, they have chopsticks too.
I got you. Yeah.
So like I don't know, it's all right. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a go-to, but I'm not saying I wouldn't eat it. The only thing I wouldn't prefer anyone getting the Panda Express is the rice. The fried rice is not.
No rice.
It's not how it's supposed to be. They do sometimes on top, but anything else, the orange chicken, the coconut shrimp, those are really good. Like almond shrimp, is it almond? don't know. It's one of those.
Coconut shrimp? That might
Yeah,
be
the
it.
coconut shrimp, then it's sesame chicken, and of course they have the general style chicken and stuff like that. They're really good. I like Panda Express. I go there every other week. You know what I mean? I
Hey,
have time.
that could be a potential NIL deal. NIL
Right?
deal. You should reach
Good.
out, or
Yeah.
maybe set something up. Free food. I know that's a big one. With, I think I
Yeah.
saw something. There was like the O line of some. I forget what school, but they
Oh, the
all
O
got
line.
they eat free at like some
Yeah,
restaurant.
it was a quarterback. It may have been Bryce Young. I think they fed they O line or something like that. I don't know. It was
Right.
like
Some like restaurant sponsored
I think
a
it was
team.
Bojangles.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
it
it
was.
was. Yeah.
No, it was either Bojangles or
Or
Arby's. I know what you're talking about. It was
right.
like one of the
Yeah.
players either had Bojangles or Arby's or something like that. And they had like NIL deal with. I know some of our players, not Oman. Yeah, Oman Tate Radish he had NIL deal with Canes. Yeah, NIL deal with
Yeah.
Canes. And we had some players, Carson, no, not Carson, but Spencer Bennett had NIL deal with Zaxby's and Canes. And so, no, it was JT. JT Daniels was with Zaxby's. Stetson was with Canes. So, like, these players are going out there and they're networking. They're going out there and
Definitely. Right.
And then, I applaud them for that. Like, I applaud them for that. That's really good. I feel as though that's a great opportunity for them to see networking at its best, especially not at the next level. Where, in college, you have networking, man. You don't know when you get to the league or you get to the league.
Right. And you're also now you're involved with sign language. I heard. What is that about? How's that going?
So sign language is something that my brother recommended to me, especially back in high school. And he's just hard of hearing, but he grew up learning sign language, so of course he grew up around the deaf community. And most people wouldn't realize, but my brother speaks just like me. He's just really hard of hearing, so and then it kind of affected his comprehending and stuff like that. So he didn't learn as fast as most of us did. And so we didn't really start going to school together until like my sophomore, junior year of high school. And then he would come and stuff like that, and he would have his interpreter with him and stuff. His interpreter would help him analyze things in the classroom and stuff like that. And then he told me, he was like, you taking the foreign language in college, you should try sign language. This will help you. This will help you.
Oh, wow.
This will help you. Communicate on a low level. Like we somewhere in public stuff like that. You could throw a little sign language up. No one would know what we're talking about except us. So I was like, that'd be real cool. This and that.
Yes, that fit pretty well with like a class that Georgia offered.
Right, and so me coming here, I kind of underestimated the challenges of sign language. I'm not saying it's hard. Sign language isn't hard. You just actually have to put time out to actually learn it. But of course, and then so what kind of shot me in the leg was our teachers were deaf, and I wasn't expecting our teachers to be deaf. And so I was like, okay, our teachers are deaf. I got to pay attention in class, really, but we had interpreters too. The teachers also had interpreters. And so sign language takes a lot of time. It's nothing hard to learn. If you ask me, it's very fun. It's very fun to learn sign language, of course, because like not only are you just throwing up signs with your fingers, you have to use emotion and stuff like that. And so I'm real familiar with using emotion. Why? Because I made TikTok. You guys say emotion on TikTok. So I was like, you know what? I'll try this. So I just passed sign language 2. I passed sign language. I'm still learning at this point. I know how to say my name and how to say good morning.
Right, because it's probably like learning a whole different language, like Spanish or Italian or French.
But it's probably one of the simplest languages you can learn. You can learn sign language in 5 months. Literally, that's sometimes, if not that, a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 1 whole year, you can be fluent in sign language. You just have to dedicate it.
Right, like you said.
So outside of class, you see a sign or something like that, you sign it, bus or something like that. You sign these things, just get it in your head.
Right. And I guess that's with everything, like practice anything, you get better at it. And overall,
so like I practice my name sometimes. People like my name, Nazir. I practice that. I know it. It's subconscious to me.
So there you go.
So now, in between the hedges, signing in between hedges. Yeah,
I got you there. That's really cool how it's because not a lot of athletes, especially college athletes, probably either know 2 languages, let alone a sign language, something that's not even verbal. So anyway, going back to yourself, in high school and even now, what are some of like when you're training and like you're trying to healthy habits. What are some of your
Yeah.
healthiest things that you do that is like a non-negotiable to you when you're training, when you're eating? What do you usually do like every day to keep a consistent, healthy mindset? Really?
Well, fortunately for us, we have a nutritionist on the team, so we're not alone here. Um, but me personally, if I were to go home, of course we us big guys like to eat, right? And so us knowing that, we have to control our eating. Me personally, she tells us this all the time, but I never really, you know what I mean? She's a professional here, of course. My always been working too, so you know what I mean. She'll tell us like, yeah, you always have to have a carb, a meat, vegetable, and then if you're going to eat something that's sugary or something that's high in calories, she said always talk about portion sizes and stuff like that. And so, go back to your question, to keep myself healthy, me like the stuff that they have at the facility, they have, of course, they have the snacks and this and the whole grain milk, all that orange juice. But me personally, I like to find things that are healthy to eat but that I actually like. There's not very too much options in the facility that I
Right.
actually like. So what I would do is go shopping. I go shopping. The apple that they have is not the apple that I like. So I'll go to the farmer's market, get the whole red apple. I don't know what they call those. But
Hmm.
I'll get those oranges, bananas, like fruit that you can just eat and not gain weight. Well, you're gonna gain weight regardless, but you're not gonna gain calories.
I got you. Yeah, you want to stay healthy, but stuff you like to eat, not just something
Exactly.
that you're
Stuff like
forced.
so I can snack on grapes all day. I'm not gaining calories off of that. I'm just snacking. I can snack on grapes. I can snack on some beef jerky. She always recommended beef jerky because sometimes, especially as a lineman, we have some, skilled guys do the same thing, but sometimes linemen we eat when we're bored and we don't even know it. Sometimes we think that we're hungry when we're not.
It's funny.
So you'll get a snack. You'll get a snack to substitute what don't have to eat, right? So like sometimes when we get bored, we may grab our wallet and go out to the vending machine and get like
Skittles.
you know what I mean, Skittles, and stuff. You don't have to. You don't need to do that. So if you feel like you're gonna eat when you're bored, why not get some why not get pistachios in the shell? Because she always tell us to get the ones in the shell because she said if you get the ones that's not in the shell, she said you eat about 10 packs of
Without.
the ones that's in the shell. It take you time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she's like, some pistachios, some beef jerky, maybe some grapes, sunflower seeds, stuff like that that you can't calorie eating. And so that's just one way. That's one way we maintain staying healthy. Of course, stretching, getting an ice tub, and then getting a hot tub is one thing, and going to training table is another. So that's just something that we do as a state to keep ourselves healthy.
Definitely. And overheard you just said one of the things was sunflower seeds. Is that something you really like? Like, is there flavors you like?
We like sometimes because meetings. So meetings like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. In the
Well,
meetings.
not a joke. And me, I'm diagnosed with narcolepsy. If you don't know what that is,
Right.
So
Yes.
randomly by day, right? So to keep me awake, one thing I like to do is I give me a bag of sunflower seeds, right? And I'll just eat it the whole meeting, right? Because it keep me awake. Sometimes it's not sunflower seeds. I may stand up, but sunflower seeds number one. Like,
Right.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
if you're a lineman and you bring sunflower seeds, because like our coach does sunflower seeds. So our defensive line coach, not Kirby. Yeah. So he like, if you have sunflower seeds in the D line, everyone else in the D line like, oh, let me get sunflower. Blah, blah. He was like, no, we won't spit about that. I'm gonna get a bottle. I'm gonna get a bottle. A Powerade bottle. Blah, blah. I'm like, okay, you got it. So yeah, sunflower seeds really good.
No, I only bring that up because in high school I played baseball and seeds were like the thing in the dugout.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like buffalo, barbecue, original, salted, even like the pickle ones were pretty good. I thought.
So like when y'all on the field, what do y'all put in y'all glove or something?
Well, the way we would do it is, I would do it. I played outfield. I'd throw them in my back pocket of my pants.
Okay.
So like, I mean, outfield. I mean, yeah, you gotta pay attention, obviously, but you're not getting the ball hit to you between pitches too. In the dugout especially, and they just stay in your pocket. It's not like you got to put other stuff there.
Exactly, right. And you just eat it, spit it. I see that all the time. Like I watch the Brady play in the
Right. The Brave World
Series,
Series.
and as they're playing, like when they be showing on their face on TV, they be chewing something. Like, what are they when they chewing? They most likely is seeds.
Seeds, bubble gum, even like
I don't know, something tobacco or like.
Yeah, it's about to say that too.
Okay,
Yeah, that's not really the best for you though. But regardless, anyway, Another thing, you were I saw a barstool athlete. What does that mean to you? Like, does it have a really big impact, or is it just
So
a quick merch grab?
Barstool is really like connected with the athletes. So like, especially like when it comes to college,
Right.
like Barstool, and then me just applying, like I applied, and I hit him. I was like, "Hey, bro, you know what it takes to be a Barstool athlete?" It was like, "Hey, what up, bro? Blah, love to have you. Hey, just fill out this application,
Right.
this and that." In the application, it said, "You have to have Barstool athlete in your this and that, this and that, this and that." And then I hit back up, blah blah blah. It never hit back up, but it's not a problem to have it in there. You know what I mean?
Did they ever send you stuff like a sweatshirt or something?
If I feel like if I ask, they will.
Oh,
I'm sure
you
they
so
will.
you haven't you haven't
I actually ran into someone who's a part of the Bar School Association
right
in downtown Athens, and I was like, "Hey, bro, this and that, blah blah." They was like, "No, we always got y'all." So I never say like, "We always got y'all." You know, whenever y'all want to do videos or you want merge, this and that, you don't have a problem doing that. And so I was like, "Okay, this and that." So I just why I kept it in my bio because me being that one guy, I kind of got his name, I think follow me on Instagram, but me being that one guy, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna keep it in my this and that, y'all cool." And then plus the videos is hilarious. Like the college videos, hilarious. Like when Jordan Davis scored his first touchdown against Charleston Southern, they had it on Barstool. It was like five. One of my teammates had it phone on the sideline. They had it on there like probably 5, 10 minutes later. I'm like, damn, he literally just scored.
no, that's really cool, and I think that's just another NIL thing. And I know Barstool
Yeah.
Sports, obviously, college sports is huge, so that fit in pretty well. But now, most importantly, and probably one of the last things to talk about, is Georgia going back to back next year? Like, is it going to be a? Is that a thing you think about?
That's the number one goal. Like because we know we can go, and because we know we have a target on our head now, it's going to make us work even more harder.
Right.
Kobe is on us even more than he was on us last year, and then because we have a team full of, I'm not saying the whole team is entirely young, but we have a big freshman group coming in, and some of them are going to have to fill some shoes really early, and I'm not saying that they can't accomplish it. It's just going to be a challenge for them.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to seeing it. And of course, the ones that been there, like me, Jim, and stuff like that, we're going to help them out. And like, look, this is how you do it. This is how you do that. Why? Because the United Champions events in LA. I've never been to California. So I was like, you know what? Why not go again? You know what I mean? It should be a fun ride. And I think, and I have faith that we can go back again, especially
Right.
this year. As long as the Trent mob is out there doing their thing, there's definitely a possibility that we'll go back.
Absolutely. And now the really the last thing to ask is we ask this to every guest in Athlete POV. We ask for advice for
Okay.
if there's an athlete that's going through a tough time out there or they're going through a rough patch with something. What would you say some advice to them to keep pushing forward and stay with it?
And it's real typical to say, oh, you know what I mean, believe in yourself, this and that, blah blah blah. Really, really, just do what do you think is best for yourself. I've had some players hit me up on social media, like, hey, bro, I'm this size, this size. What I gotta do to do this? And of course, I'm giving them my opinion of what I honestly think they need to do. Why? Because I did it myself.
Hmm.
I want to tell them something that I didn't do, right? So I'll say things like, hey, man, like, don't worry about you don't got offers to this. Don't worry about who's not looking at you. Don't worry about if you don't think you're big or not, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because you have players in the NFL that were doubted too. You have players in the NFL that didn't think they had beat her either. And I'm not saying I'm using them as examples, but these are people that didn't listen to what other people had to say. They didn't care. They didn't have certain offers and stuff like that. Marshawn Lynch didn't go to a big school, and he's going to be a future Hall of Famer. And so, you know what I mean? So all I can say is, especially to the recruits and especially to the ones that are still in high school, not sure they're going to go to college or for football and stuff like that. Hey, bro, just do your thing, man. Just go out there and just work really hard. Don't listen to what people have to say about it. People are going to talk. That's what you just want to do. And then me personally, I didn't know nothing about recruiting. So like I'm kind of was like in the same boat as they are. I didn't know anything about recruiting. All I did was play the game that I've been playing as a little kid. And so that's all I needed to do. And so, the perks came around, of course, being offered and stuff like that.
Right.
It was somewhat overwhelming to me, but all I knew was to do is, go out there and play. Like, even me having those offers didn't change me. I'm like, I'm still going to go out there and play football. Of course, people going to know who I am and stuff like that. The county's really, I'm not saying small, but it's not big either.
Right.
But people know, oh, that's the Georgia community, this and that. And so, and I'm not saying I have to live up to that name. I was trying to prove to myself that, look, you can do this. I'm one out of brothers that actually in college. I got two younger brothers that play football too. So they're like right there behind me and stuff like that. And it was something that I wanted to prove to myself that it can happen. And so a lot of people academically and stuff like that. There's always been some blocks in that. There's of course been some blocks in football where I didn't really believe in myself and stuff like that. But and then there's been people talking about, you know what I mean? And so just don't listen to the outside noise. Focus on your conscience. Whatever your conscience telling you to do, whatever you feel deep down inside that you want to do, you do it. Don't even hesitate. Like, oh, maybe I want to change positions and stuff like that. If you feel like you want to change positions, go and do that. If you play defensive line, be like, I feel like I play better. I'm a great player at offensive guard. Do it. Why not? Why not try it? You know what I mean? Like, if you're a quarterback, you be like, I feel like I'm better at receiver. Try it out. There's never like, always listen to your conscience. That's one thing I had to learn, especially coming here. If something's telling you not to do something, don't do it. So I'm telling you, oh, you don't need to be downtown this long. You need to go home, go chill, blah, blah. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go home. You know what I mean? Don't fight it. And, and another thing, if you're spiritual, you're religious, you don't have to be. To be honest, just believe in what you believe in. The ones that are Christian, the ones that are spiritual, believe in God, He got you.
Absolutely. That's some powerful stuff coming for someone that's already got to where you are. Like you said, you mentioned you only told people what you did and what worked, not just some random stuff that people you might have heard of. So I think that's really cool how you only say the truth. That's really powerful, and I appreciate you saying that. And I know this little clip, 1 to 2 minutes right here, is really going to affect a lot of people that watch up to this far. So thank you.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
All right. That's all I got. You got anything else you want to add in there?
Shout out to all my dog fans. And of course, shout out to all my recruits who's going through it. Your boy, I see y'all, man. I see y'all. So if y'all commented anything, I see it. Sometimes I can't respond all the time, but I see it. Just go there, bust it. But another thing, go dog, go dog. You follow me on TikTok if you want. I have to. This is the thing. But that's it.
All right. Nazir Stackhouse, we appreciate you coming on. Can't wait to see what you look. I can't wait to see what you do next year. Probably on the field,
Yes, sir.
Georgia back to back. Let's go get him.
Let's get it.